Researchers at the University of Virginia School of Medicine confirming the nation's first death linked to the so-called meat allergy spread by tick bites. A 47-year-old man died just hours after eating beef. The case solved by UVA allergist Dr. Thomas Platts-Mills, who joins us now live here at UVA. I was left speechless when we heard this, doctor. I don't know how you all came to this conclusion, but I think a lot of people would like to hear that process.
No, it's a pleasure to see you, Marina. It came to us because the mother, the wife of the person who died, had a friend who was a pediatrician in New Jersey, where they lived, and they talked about what had happened and the fact that the post-mortem had said there was no apparent cause of death, which was pretty shocking for his wife. And so they discussed it, and they realized that the features of his case had a lot in common with what we know as delayed anaphylaxis to red meat, or the alpha-gal syndrome. And what had happened is 3 weeks earlier, he'd eaten steak at 10 o'clock at night and had a terrible episode of abdominal pain at 2 o'clock in the morning, from which he recovered. And they had then discussed that, he and his wife, and didn't make any real connections, or didn't recognize the abdominal pain as possibly anaphylaxis, didn't recognize that his previous chigger bites could have been tick bites. And then when he went to a barbecue in the beginning of September last year, he ate a hamburger and had no sense that there was a problem with eating.
Okay, so really quickly, for the sake of time, Dr. Platts-Mills, I just want to make sure I got this right. He eats steak at home. He doesn't feel well late at night. He had been bitten by ticks previously. A few weeks later, he has a hamburger, but because of the ticks, he now suffers from a meat allergy, and that is why he died?
We're pretty sure that's what happened.
Wow.
We know he died of anaphylaxis because by a complex process, we got hold of the serum that had been collected at post-mortem, and he had a very high level of tryptase, which is an enzyme that comes out of mast cells at the time of anaphylaxis. His level was 2,000, and I'd never seen a value higher than 100 before. Wow. So that it was clearly anaphylaxis that he died of, and he'd eaten a hamburger 4 hours beforehand. And the lessons are that chiggers, which people commonly describe as chiggers, can be larval ticks, and that this tick, the Lone Star tick, breeds on deer, and there's been a catastrophic increase in the deer population in New Jersey, as well as in Virginia. It's impossible to live with this number of deer without getting tick bites. And 50% of the people we see got the tick bites on their own land.
Wow.
But the other thing is that anaphylaxis is usually not fatal. It's unusual for it to be fatal, so that we don't know why he got such a severe attack.
Right.
But to
be clear, though, before we move on, because we do have to go, and this is a fascinating study, and I'm so glad that that family was able to find someone like yourself that could at least provide some more answers. I would imagine this is extremely rare.
Well, clearly no one's found a case before where we had this level of information. And when I first got the connection, the email from Erin McFeely, the pediatrician in New Jersey, I recognized that she had given a very excellent description of what happened, and that this was a potential for understanding more about what happens and why we need to be better educated about it. I think in particular, both the medical profession and the public need to be better educated.
Absolutely, and I think knowledge is power, and especially as it relates to ticks and the fact that it can create this allergy that I'm sure he'd had meat plenty of times before this. Incredible story there, and so sad for that family there in New Jersey, but we appreciate your explanation there, Professor.
No, thank you, Marina.